Oh, hey guys, here I'm tinkering out in shop this afternoon. Thought I would do a little video here. This is the fill valve out of my Kohler pompton here, but it's also the same fill valve that the Kohler Rochelle uses. And I'm going to show you guys something real quick about this. A lot of people think you got to throw them away if they go bad. No, you don't. You can rebuild these. There's still parts available for these fill valves, and for the Rochelle and the pompton, they're the same valve. Everything's the same. This, if you look at the valve here, that is your part numbers that you would want to go by, because listed in like the plumbingsupply.com and stuff websites, there's an old style and a new style, and they're not talking about the water guard, which is what the Rialtos and the newer Rochelles and stuff use. There's a newer and an old style of this same valve, and they look identical. The only difference that is shown in the book is that the little plunger in here is once the older style, I think, was a little bit bigger, and the newer style one's just a little smaller. Not much of a difference to look at by the eye, but it makes a difference. So they say that in the book that you have to go by these part numbers here. So that's the part numbers that you would look for on the side of your valve, either for the Kohler Rochelle or the pompton. It's the same valve. And another thing I want to touch on here real quick, guys, when you do take these out, a lot of times they'll leak right here, and that's the seal. Think of it like a tank to bowl gasket, just like a regular two-piece toilet would have, except this one's internal, and it goes there where the valve would be to keep the water from going from the leaking from the tank into the bowl, both on this toilet or the Rochelle, doesn't matter. What I've found, you can order this, but I've also found you can use like the older American Standard style, the orange spongy gasket, and you just get you a permanent marker and you'd line the old one up next to it, and you can draw a line, and you can cut that newer spongy one and use the thinner part that's tapered on the bottom in place, and it does the same job. That's what I did on both of my Kohler Rochelles. Both the white one and then now that pink one that's busted, I did that. I should have showed a video on it, but there, a lot of you guys mess with toilets know what I'm talking about. It's an orange spongy gasket, like American Standard used them, that was real thick, but you can cut it and you can use the bottom half. It works just fine on there. And another thing, guys, when you put this valve back in, there's your lug. You can see that lug there. This piece here screws out, of course. That would be on the inside bottom of the tank. Okay, I don't want to have it go all over the place here, but anyway, yeah, that comes off. I mean, that'll come out. Why does my camera keep trying to focus and unfocus? But anyway, make sure, you know, you would put this down inside there first, and then the screw would go down through here and then lock it into place. Just make sure, guys, when you do that, though, when you reinstall it, do not over tighten it. When it starts to get a little snug, you can stop, because that's why I like to use those spongy gaskets, because it'll give you some play and it won't leak. You can crank it down just a little bit more, but you don't want to over tighten them. So, and then this piece here, there's parts available for this. This is the backflow preventer. There's a little plunger in there. You can kind of see that little plastic thing in there. That's part of the plunger. If water comes out of there, it's not going to hurt nothing. It'll go in the tank. But I've seen these also spray literally all over it. If it gets against the back of the tank, it'll come out those holes and leak on your floor. So if it's leaking that bad, it should be fixed. And of course, this is the diverter here. Let's see if I can unscrew this. Just unscrews. Forgive the focus. I don't know what's going on with this camera. But this unscrews, and of course there it would drop because I'm doing one-handed here. That's all there is. These usually don't go bad. I don't see any parts even available for this. This is just your diverter here. I mean, I guess it could break over time. It's plastic, so, but it just screws into the valve here. You can just hand tighten that. Sometimes they might be a little stiff, but that's that. Look at this old triple seal. I've had another one like that, and that would have been there. Now the rod, I dropped it somewhere. I'll have to look for it. Oh, well, there's the red ball I had out. That's where it went. My daughter's bike. One of my girls' bikes. I had it sitting here. You can use this style or this style, but the thing is, I'm preferring these because this one's a little bit taller, and sometimes that can affect the operation of the toilet, believe it or not, because of if that goes up too far and hits this, it won't let that diverter open all the way, and the flapper may not want to stay open very well. Okay, so there's that. I'm trying to keep this video short. Another old piece of pipe I had. I worked on a guy's house the other day. Look at this old thing. Look at this old piece of cast iron. See why it had to be replaced? We had to clean that out, and then I went back and replaced it for him, but that thing was really caked up. It was cast iron. That's heavy, but I kept it. I kind of like collecting this old plumbing stuff. I could actually clean that out. But yeah, anyway, that's off topic. Now, one more thing before I let this video go here. You could put a different valve in there, like a fluid master. It does work, but let me show you something, guys. You have to take this out, and there's one thing you got to note. This hole is a little bit bigger than the fluid master. Look at that. I can put that inside of that. That also means the hole in the bottom of the tank is slightly bigger. However, with the gasket and all here, it will fit and it will not leak, but you have to make darn sure you have it right in the center of that hole. It can't be off to the side either way, because it'll gap and it will drip. You have to have it perfectly lined up over that hole, so you'd have to hold on to this valve and then snug the nut down underneath of it to get it right on the center. And if you do that, it'll work. It will not leak. I've tried it on my Kohler Rochelles, and it will work. But you just gotta make sure you line it up to the center of that hole and then bolt it down. So make sure it's not like that off to the side or anyway, because if it's not centered, it will drip. So because that hole is slightly bigger. Because the fill valve of the Rochelle and the Pompton, this tube slides through here, and that's how that mounts. This mounts on the bottom of the tank there. So that's it. Just thought I would show that real quick. I'm going to clean this toilet up some more and put it in a box and kind of put it away. I haven't used the Pompton except just that 1 month there in the house. It's a small toilet, so but it works. You guys seen the videos on it. Mainly just wanted to touch base on putting everything back together and getting ready to box it up. So out here tinkering around, thought I would do a quick video and let you guys see how you can order, what you need to do to order parts for the original Kohler Rochelle and Pompton fill valves. So there you have it. Remember to look for the number on the side. It'll tell you which kit that this would take. And I don't think the parts were very expensive, like 20, 30 bucks, not much at all. So compared to a new valve that runs between $300 and $350. So, okay, thanks for watching, guys.